Jeff is with us. Jeff's in Springfield, Missouri. Hi, Jeff. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for taking my call, Dave.
Sure. What's up?
I over the last 5 years, I lost my job and took a pay cut of about $50,000. I've since, in the last year, I brought my income back to where I was before this happened. But over the last 5 years, I've also had a failing business, and I built up quite a bit of credit card debt, $110,000. My wife and I, we make about $115,000 a year, but we have $110,000 in credit card debt between the business and ourselves, and we're strapped. We're contemplating bankruptcy, looking at all of our options. We're doing what we can do with your every dollar plan on the budget, things like that, but we've quite frankly just started that. And I'm just looking for some
How old are you?
advice. 52 years old.
What kind of business was it?
It was a house flipping business.
You got any of them left?
I'm in the middle of one right now, but it's out of all the houses we've done, this has been the worst house, and it's eating us alive.
You gonna make a profit on it when you flip it?
Maybe a little.
What do you owe on it?
5-10. We owe about 115, and it's probably worth 140 to 150.
Okay. When's it going on the market?
Hopefully in the next week or so.
Good. What do you owe on your home?
I owe $300,000. It's worth $500,000. We built it about 18 years ago and have a lot of sweat equity in it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
of the $115,000 income you told us, is that your wife? I'm assuming, or do you have or is this?
You said you got a new good job.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. No, my job is really good. Pays well. My wife works and does well also. Okay. For this area.
So overall, flipping houses, you have lost when all the smoke cleared $110,000.
Between that and then my job, my salary. We were living on credit cards for a while.
Okay. All right. So, but the bottom line was the overall business model of flipping houses, you lost money on it.
And mainly that's been the last 2 years since COVID.
Okay.
And this house has really been a disaster.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So.
And how old did you say you were again? 52, you said. Yeah. Okay.
52. Right. Yeah.
The good news is you're not bankrupt. The bad news is you're scared and you're beat up.
Absolutely.
And when we're scared and when we're beat up, we tend to make we have more of a tendency to make bad decisions because we're kind of in a fog. You're in the forest, can't see the trees kind of thing. Been there myself. I know how it feels. It's hard to think clear because everything's just overwhelming you, this idea of just surviving. Does that sound familiar?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So this is going to hurt your feelings and hurt your wife's feelings even more, but you can pay the credit card debt. You just got to sell your house.
I understand that.
And here's the bad news. I don't know the rule in Missouri, but in every state except Texas and Florida, you can't keep this much equity in bankruptcy. Because what happens is they have a homestead exemption when you file Chapter 7 bankruptcy. There's a homestead exemption, which is the amount of your equity that you get to keep. And anything above that that's substantial, they're going to force the sale of the house to pay your creditors. So Correct. You might as well pay them. So are you behind on the credit cards?
No, we are current. We've called them and got reduced monthly payments, and
Good.
We've canceled all the credit cards.
Good. So what I would do, having been through what you're going through, except with zeros on the end, and I was 28, I wasn't 52, but I still remember being so freaking scared I couldn't breathe. What I would do if I were you is I would fight like a wild man to not have to sell my house. Let's pretend you pay a bunch of credit cards late over the next 3 years, and it messes up your credit, but you become debt-free except the house. I would do that.
Okay.
And by the way, $115,000 income, $30,000 a year, you can do for 3 years. $40,000 a year for 3 years, you can do it on $115,000 income. You got no life, but you get to keep your house.
Yeah.
No life during that 3 years, and you're probably going to be working extra doing something else.
Well,
and you're going to be selling everything you can get your hands on, including this junky butt house you're getting ready to get rid of.
Jeff, how much time, ballpark, are you spending per week on this house that
It's
you're trying
almost
to flip?
gone, yeah.
On the house, flip house?
How many hours beyond your work are you spending on this flip house?
Probably 25 hours a week.
All right, so today's point, Harold, I'm trying to give you some hope. I agree with Dave. I get rid of that house quickly as possible, and now we're done with that. And now that 25 hours I've been spending on that sinkhole, I'm going to spend the 25 hours because you're a pretty handy guy. You could pick up some really nice paying work with your skills, true or false?
Yes.
The answer is true.
I've been doing side hustles.
I know. My point is,
side hustles.
Listen, you either do that or you sell your house.
Yeah, and I'd keep the house,
Yeah.
work the extra 25 hours, and pay the
I'd
credit
hustle
card.
my way through this and pay $40,000 or $50,000 a year on this debt and be done with it in 2.5 years. That's my plan.
Okay. All right.
That's what I'd get after that. And so so here's the thing. We just said there's two possible paths that's not bankrupt. And by the way, bankrupt won't work. You're going to lose your house in bankruptcy.
Yeah.
They're going to take it and pay your creditors because you have so much equity. Unless I'm wrong, I don't know. Again, off the top of my head, you could ask Google. You can do it as soon as you get off. I could do it live if I knew how to run Google. But
That's okay.
Google what the homestead exemption for Missouri is. But I'm betting you that it's probably 10, 20, 30 grand, something like that. And you got 200 grand.
It's 15, and I would have to go Chapter 13.
Yeah.
How I.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, you're not
that's the only way.
Chapter 13 is Chapter 13 is a payment plan, and you pay the creditors.
I know.
And so, well, just pay them.
You got this, Jeff.
Even if you pay them late. Chapter 13 destroys your credit. Paying them late destroys your credit. Whoopee. Destroy your credit. Who gives a crap? We're talking about bankruptcy here. We're talking about you keeping your house. We're talking about you turning the corner on this putting this chapter of your life that sucks in the rearview mirror. So the path I'm taking, I'm going to work like a maniac for the next 3 years. I'm going to get rid of this stupid house in the next 30 days, even if I break even on it so I can get my life back. And then I'm going to tear into these credit cards, working the debt snowball, smallest to largest. And you're not bankrupt. You just got a sucky 2.5 years coming up to put this crap in your rearview mirror. Ed, you can do it. Hang on. We're going to sign you up for Financial Peace University. We're going to pay for it. And Jeff, been where you are, man. I know how it feels to be scared. I can hear it in your voice. You call me anytime. We'll help you. We'll encourage you. We'll yell at you. We'll cheer for you. Whatever it takes to keep you moving, man.